Good morning. Welcome to the. I wanted to use one word.
The penultimate show.
That was working to mine. Thank you. You're smart. Welcome to the penultimate show of the week. Counting down to the end of the month, where many people will say, "I don't get alert, God win." This January is not as long as many of us thought it would be, but we're grateful
Speak
to be.
for yourself.
We're grateful to be almost at the end of the month. You're welcome to Breakfast Central. We want to hear what you think about a number of the conversations that we'll be looking at this morning. All you need to do is to go on YouTube. We're streaming live via News Central TV on YouTube to drop your comments, and I'll be here to take them. We can see the comments live. You're welcome once again to the show. I am Olive MOD.
And I'm Benga Borough. Welcome to Breakfast Central this Thursday morning in the city of Lagos. We have a lot in store for you today. So many things happening across the country, and trust us to always bring you those stories with insightful and deep analysis. Do stay with us. This is Breakfast Central.
Well, I was waiting for either of you to not just welcome the people, but of course talk about what has been happening, especially in Lagos. There's hunger in the land. Period. That's what I was thinking. There's hunger in the land. Dirty December is over. Dry January is here.
We're back to reality.
We're back to reality.
Back to life.
Back to reality.
Then I also wanted to
You don't
ask
introduce
a question
yourself.
Yes. No, they know me already.
This is Pride.
They know me already.
What if the viewer is just tuning in for the first time?
Hi, viewer.
Director, please
How are
remove
you?
Johansson's
How
name
are
from the
you?
WhatsApp
Hi,
travel.
how are you? Thank you so much for
Are you
joining us.
Cristiano Ronaldo or Sadio Mane?
I'm a mixture of both.
Okay.
I'm a mixture of Cristiano Ronaldo. Coincidentally, they play in the same football club, and coincidentally, CR7 is my best football player. With a touch of Sadio Mane's character. I think he's the most He should be the most respected African footballer in years to come.
Sadio Mane?
Hardly gets angry.
Yeah.
He has great spirit of sportsmanship.
Humble.
I particularly like what he did at
pitch.
the AFCON when they had staged the walkout. He was like the peacemaker, the unifying factor that was
Yeah,
encouraging
it was like
his
everybody
teammates to
come out,
back.
don't worry, come out, come
Yeah,
out.
and then
come out.
he's done so much. He's giving back so much to the community
So much.
where he came from. From
Very
humble-
level-headed.
There are two
humble
players.
beginnings.
There are two players that are like that. Sadio Mane and N'Golo Kante.
Yeah.
N'Golo
So
Kante is
you
the
can't be
world's
angry
most
at them.
humble. He doesn't like the press. He doesn't want you to hail him or greet him. When his mates or
He's so
players
shy.
are there, he's always bending his head.
He's very meek.
He cleans the stadium after training. He doesn't leave. He doesn't walk down the tunnel when they're done.
He drives
You tell
a
him,
Mini- he
come,
drives
come.
a
The,
Mini
the
Cooper.
boys will clean it. He says no. He goes around, picks their beeps. Come on. Anyway, good morning. Welcome to Breakfast Central. It's been a long conversation, and I think we're going to kickstart with this one.
Are we going to talk about iShowSpeed first, or are we going to talk about him now?
iShowSpeed
Yeah, we should talk about iShowSpeed.
was in Nigeria.
Yes.
It was in Lagos.
After
He is in Lagos.
Okay, he's in Lagos.
After leaving the
Ethiopia.
Nations Cup. Yes, he
Did he attend?
was. He was at the. It was at.
He was in
Really?
Morocco at some point in
Morocco,
time.
yeah.
Oh, I
And then
didn't
he went
know
to
that one.
Ethiopia.
He went to, and then of course
Yeah.
then came
And
to
he's been to
Nigeria.
Zambia.
He watched a couple of matches. The Algerian fans didn't like him. They even called him a monkey as well. He was at the stands when the finals. He was there. He was there at the finals when Ibrahim missed the penalty and so on. So he was there. But then again, he's in Nigeria. I don't know what's up. You guys
Now, in case
put
you're
up with
wondering what's happening, iShowSpeed.
Oh, who iShowSpeed is.
iShowSpeed is. He is a YouTuber. He's a streamer who's visited Nigeria. He's been touring the continent of Africa and showcasing some of our landmarks. He was in Egypt, streaming live for the first time ever from inside the pyramids. He's been to different parts of the world, of the continent. Let's start with the continent because he's touring the continent. He's a person known for speed, right? He does very, very insane, what many people will call, this is same as, the Victoria Falls, what they call, I think this is the Devil's Pool.
Yes.
So he basically explores different parts of the continent and he's streaming live and showing you, and many people argue that he has done more for the continent than a number of countries have in terms of showcasing the continent to the world, because usually and unfortunately there's a negative perception that some people try to push about the continent, but there's so much beauty in Africa, so much beauty on the continent. He went to Ethiopia and was intrigued to find out that Ethiopia is still in 2018 while the rest of us are in 2026 because he did not use the same calendar that we use. So it's bringing so much information, knowledge, and culture about the continent to the world. And yesterday he landed in Lagos. He, of course, went to the Nikkei Art Gallery, which is where every person who visits Nigeria typically goes because it's one of, I think it's the biggest art gallery in West Africa. And he was there. I mean, you see him. Okay, this was where he raced a cheetah. And yes, this was a video of him racing a cheetah. I'm not sure which country this was, but
Who won? He beat the cheetah.
He beat the cheetah.
Yeah, I think he did beat the cheetah.
He did.
But somebody said, no. They said the cheetah was even jogging. Somebody was like, this one that the cheetah is jogging. He's comparing
Maybe
himself.
the cheetah.
But he's known for his
it's
speed.
not a well-fed cheetah.
It's why his name is iShowSpeed. He's known for his speed. And yesterday in Nigeria, he met the angriest man in Nigeria.
I met a few celebrities.
Yeah, then he met a young lady who challenged him to a run. And that was really a joke.
It was cringe.
It was, but
And that's what people interviewed him.
The one thing I'm learning is that in this generation, if you want to stand out, you must be willing to do crazy things. So I believe that she was doing that to showcase herself. And somebody, I mean, the real Femi shared clips of it on his story, and he was saying how the girl could launch her career from that. Sometimes there are moments, you get a moment of virality, and it becomes a way to project your brand as a social media influencer. That, I don't know if that happened for her because the race was not really giving what it was meant to give. But the angriest man asked for $10,000. He told iShowSpeed that if you want to make me happy, you give me $10,000. iShowSpeed was like, huh? And then he brought out some money to give him, like 50 naira notes, but a bundle of 15 naira notes. And the guy said, no, this will not be enough for me to buy fuel. And I cringed at that moment. The entitlement of it all. Where do you know this man from? That you should dole out $10,000 and give it. That's over 10 million naira.
Is that not the same spirit of that man that anything for the boys?
And then when he was driving through Lagos Island, all these area boys were screaming, oh, show us love, show us love. He's never heard it before. So it was like, what do you mean by show us love? He said, show us money, money. I mean, we can laugh at these things. And I mean, it's been to different African countries. I don't know if they begged him for money behind the camera, but we need to have a come to Jesus moment and reflect on our values and especially begging.
What did you call it? Come to Jesus.
Yes. You know, we need to reflect on our value systems and the art of begging. I'm not saying people don't beg or we don't ask for favors.
Beggars
no
have
man is an
Instagram
island.
handles now.
Yes, so but the fact that there's no shame attached to it, we've rubbished our personal dignity in the mud at the slightest opportunity, even if you're gainfully employed. Sometimes people greet you, you have become suspicious of the greeting, or you start feeling guilty.
Or when people are too nice to you.
Too nice.
So there's some things
you go
that
to
are
the airport bathroom.
Your shirt is nice.
And,
to share that.
you know, they give you tissue, you expect something. And it's terrible. And it's not about, I don't think it's about the economy or the social class.
No,
it's a culture.
It's a culture.
I have a friend that works with one of the international development agencies. She's American, and she told me that she's done work in the war zones and the most terrible places where people have lost everything they ever worked for. She was in Darfur in Sudan, and she said those South Sudanese people, that they have dignity of the highest level.
I know
that
what you're talking
everything,
about. I know what you're talking
but they
about.
will still offer you coffee, tell you to come to their tent. I remember when I was in university, my baba was from Chennai in South India. He was a migrant worker in Malaysia, and you know, he wasn't the wealthiest. And for every time I come to cut my hair, he's never said, oh, it has one problem, can I keep your change, find me something? No, he's professional. So we need to really revisit our value systems and also carry ourselves with a lot more dignity.
Yes.
Well, I also had a conversation on radio, and I remember when we used to work on radio, and I opened up the phone lines to talk about how immigration officials, people at the airport should stop begging. And I had callers saying, we are just using it to encourage them. Encourage what? You can compromise national security by collecting a bribe or by taking money. It doesn't look well. It's not a good look at all. So
I agree.
We need to look at that culture of begging.
So just to mention that, I mean, we want to hear your thoughts. Please go on YouTube, drop your comment. Good morning, Mokunye Chukwemeka. I've seen your comments. Feel free to drop your comments in the chat box and we will take them. But I think the summary of it is welcome to Darren Jason Watkins Jr., who's a YouTube star that is touring, and he hit 50 million subscribers yesterday. That's a huge number. So imagine projecting the country, projecting the good things about a continent to 50 million subscribers. People are watching. So we
should
need
have
to
arrived in Abuja first.
No. It's
They
okay that it's okay that he
Lagos.
arrived in Lagos.
Abuja
And to be honest, the bad part, it's okay for the bad parts to show.
No,
Because
it's okay.
part of what he will do
It's
is
real.
maybe to give us shame, to clean up our acts in certain areas. But other than that, we have so much beauty and culture. I love that he's visited the Nike Art Gallery. He's worn our traditional outfits. I saw them teaching him.
He also
Mommy
met
Nike was teaching him how
Jarvis
to say
yesterday.
Ekabo. Jarvis and Pella.
No, he met
Jarvis.
Jarvis.
But he didn't meet Pella. Was
didn't meet
Jarvis.
Pella
I-
tried to meet
Pella
him.
tried to meet him.
And
He was
ignored
even on
Pella.
a horse.
He ran in with the horse.
And trying to climb his car. His bouncers had to remove him.
Pella was saying, I know I'm big, but I want us to collaborate. I was like, what is that?
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the matters that matter.
But before we move on, I just wanted to correct Olive. When she was referring to Victoria Falls, she referred to Victoria Falls as Victoria Falls. It's Mosi Otuya, the cloud that thunders. We need to refer to it in its native name, the way the people that met it thousands and used it for centuries.
And what do they call
when
it?
Victoria was in England, they said that it's called
Victoria
Victoria
Falls.
Falls. What's Victoria Falls?
So what's the
It's
traditional?
Mosi Otuya.
Mosi
Otuya. Thank
Otuya.
you for the
Yes.
history
Mosi
lesson.
Otuya.
Let's call, and
Yeah.
Mongo Park did not discover.
No.
Would you go to Mosi Otuya?
I will.
I know you're a
But I
daredevil
will do
as
that
well.
devil.
Big guy's a fantastic
Somebody
swimmer, by
died
the way.
Yes, I saw that.
recently
Yes.
from that devil's pool.
But you know what happens? I haven't been there. I don't know that I will not do it. But I hear that when you
Please
get
don't
there,
do it. Don't do it.
please don't do it. That somebody's actually holding your legs.
Oh yeah. Oh,
And they're holding
okay.
your
And there's a
legs.
rope.
Yes, so that you're not. But that even the ride you take a boat from one place to get to that place. My swimming is not yet to the kind of level that I
the
want
thing
to do
about
that.
traveling and doing what every celebrity wants to do, or what major people do, is they are expensive.
Very,
They're very expensive.
very expensive.
All
So
right.
I would always choose Asia for some of my.
Talking about what's expensive, let's talk about how you will have to deal with this new situation.
Wow.
The United States has announced a partial suspension of visa issuance to nationals of Nigeria and 18 other countries. Well, let me mention the total of 24 countries. Effective 12:01 a.m. on January 1. Today is not January 1st, but it's just a clear statement they put out. 2026, citing national security concerns. Take note, national security concerns. According to the U.S. Department of State, the restriction affects non-immigrant visitor visas, as well as student and exchange visas and all immigrant visas, with limited exceptions. The affected countries are Nigeria, Angola, Antigua, and Barbuda, not forgetting to Benin Republic, Burundi, Cote d'Ivoire, Cuba, Dominica, Gabon, the Gambia, Malawi, and the likes. Well, guess what? Now, the authorities clarify that the policy applies only to foreign nationals outside the United States who do not already hold valid visas, stressing the existing visas issued before the effective date will not be revoked. Applicants may still submit applications and attend interviews, but issuance will depend on eligibility under the new proclamation. So why do I have to submit and go for interviews?
When you know
that I will pay money and I will not still enter. Anyway, the United States tweet made it clear, and they went ahead to explain. But how are Nigerians reacting to this latest information? Well, let's tell you this. Let's go straight to what Nigerians are saying. The Emancipator, powerful name. Sounds like a movie.
Emancipate yourself from mental
It is a
slavery.
wake-up call for us to build our nation. The true strength of a nation lies in the economic empowerment of its people. However, this can never fully materialize until greed and corruption are eradicated from our land. When systems and institutions fail, our capacity to negotiate effectively within the international system becomes severely limited. Emancipator, you are correct. Let's move on to another person quickly. This one is Behula, says, this is disappointing news for many Nigerians who rely on these visas for legitimate travel, education, or family visits. While the U.S. has every right to tighten security and address overstay rates, that's Nigeria's B1, B2 at 5.56%, and student visas at nearly 12% are indeed high, the blanket partial suspension feels overly broad and punitive. It disproportionately affects ordinary people who have nothing to do with security threats or overstays, especially students hoping to study in the US. They stated reasons like challenges from groups such as Boko Haram and valid concerns, but they don't justify restricting millions of law-abiding citizens.
I don't even think Boko Haram members are interested in going to the US.
Well, let's move on to another tweet very quickly. Your thoughts are well taken care of in terms of, what we've said. All of you that voted no when U.S. government was asking Nigerian government to temporarily take refugee from U.S., just temporarily, you said now. No, you said no. Now, Ghana said yes. Bring them. We will take care of them. Nigerian government and Mr.
There are no refugees, though. There are people that were deported.
Don't complain. Everything has consequences.
Prisons.
She's just being sarcastic.
No, but I mean, she's right.
She has a point.
It's one of the reasons why Ghanaian seems to have
pretty
it
much
easy.
Ghana's name is not mentioned there. Prince says U.S. mission Accra is advertising for thousands of available visa for tourists that want to visit U.S. for World Cup, but U.S. mission Nigeria is partially suspended visa issuance to Nigerians. They should serve as a learning curve for Nigerian government. We must, as a country, rebuild our value system if we are to be respected in the global stage. Nigerians are fleeing in droves because the system back home is broken. Well, I think that, let's take a final tweet. Saluna says, visa-free expires in 1 year. Now that these categories of visa have been suspended, what happens to those who have already paid for visa fees? What if it expires before a change of policy? Do they just book appointment and come to just be denied?
Valid question.
Well, that's what we're going to take. Reactions simply are indeed rife, and it has it that one, the United States had already mentioned that you must have at least $15,000 bond. Now, for those watching, what is a bond? They said you must have between $5,000 to $15,000 bond. It's the money that you keep, that they can see. You can't take it, you can't touch it. And if you're going to be in the US, it will be in their care. Take note. And if you'll be in the United States for, say, 6 months, should you overstay by a day or 3 days, that money is gone.
You don't go.
Now, how many Nigerians have $15,000? That's for some people, that's a year's pay. I'm talking about
more than a year's pay. I mean, look at Nigeria's minimum wage and calculate it. That's maybe 15 years pay.
Yeah. So to be honest, in other words, minimum wage are not trying to.
What the US is trying to tell you is, listen, we don't need you in our country. And another one is
they're putting barriers.
Germany is also threatening to pull out of the World Cup.
If you're looking at 15,000 at the rate of
calculation
1,415 naira per dollar to a dollar, that's 21,750,000.
Does Ikechukwu, who just finished secondary school and he wants to go to university and he wants to go abroad, does he have that?
I don't know that that applies to students. I think it's more for those who are
going country, their rules. And what this tells us is that, I mean, getting to the United States as a Nigerian these days, like passing through the eye of the needle. They obviously, based on our bilateral relations and things that we've done in the past, and we have a government in America that is very business-like, quid pro quo. He says you give. It's very transactional, and they asked Nigeria to take deportees, some from prisons, and we refused to. So maybe this is their sort of payback. They could use pretexts of insecurity and all of that. But don't despair. The United States is just one of over 200 countries in the world. If you don't go to the United States, you can go to other places, and the current administration would not be there forever and ever. I'm sure if there's a change of government, these policies tend to change. Yeah.
Well, don't forget too that Germany is threatening to pull out of the World Cup.
Yes, but they've because of the Greenland situation. They've come to a deal. Yeah. Yesterday in Davos, they had high-stake meetings with NATO's Secretary General and other European leaders. So that the word is that they've come to a sort of agreement, and it won't be using military force anymore. So they've found their level.
And the president also, we hear, spoke as well.
Yes, he spoke and he referred to Greenland as Iceland 4 times. I can imagine if Joe Biden said that, he would not let him rest. But
no, we'll let that go. We'll let that slide. It's human. It's human to make such mistakes.
Iceland.
4 times.
It's human.
Greenland.
No. It's human.
They're calling another country.
Maybe he wasn't briefed appropriate.
Somebody that he's coveting Greenland the way he was coveting the Nobel Prize. Once if laser focuses on something, it's very, it doesn't care about. He said he's not compelled to follow international law anymore. Just his own morals.
Okay,
it's the age we live in.
Anyway,
now.
Permit me to, before we go to one of the good stories we have, permit me to piggyback to one of the stories that we're also going to talk about today, which is the Kaduna situation. The update is that residents in Kaduna are calling for the sack of the commissioner of police in Kaduna. They're saying that he should be fired. Also, the Christian Association, good enough, we're also going to talk with them with
Reverend J.J. Hayab this morning.
Yes, who will join us. They're also saying that it was a complete absurdity for a police commissioner who should have been in charge, mobilizing and ensuring that they had gotten the Christians who were kidnapped, but they played silent and said nothing had happened, that this should be looked into. I think the most important thing while we're bringing this conversation up, even though we're going to have it later on, is the fact that I haven't seen any tweet from the SSA to the president. No one has, one, acknowledged, two, shared sympathy, three, gone as far as, maybe.
I don't think they have said anything.
I haven't seen anything. You know? But what I've seen is tweets about, road construction,
so it's called the ostrich mentality. They would rather bury their head in the sand than acknowledge the loss and the kidnappings of these fellow Nigerians, because it would, in their minds, bring embarrassment. And it's a negative story, so they won't want to do more credence, and they believe the Kaduna State is the Kaduna State's government's problem. So they should deal with it. I want to ask you a
question, Oliver Benga. I mean, it's road to election, whether we like it or not. In as much as we're going to have a special on breakfast as well, build up to it. Don't you think this should change the people's minds to say, this one wants to come back to be re-elected? When things were happening to my people.
In a sense, in a saner society, yes. In a saner society where the instrument of poverty cannot be manipulated against the people.
And where people have collective compassion, regardless of where this incident takes place.
Tribal or religious differences.
That a fellow Nigerian or fellow Nigerians have been kidnapped.
Just to mention how the impact of what Joe has just said, if we don't understand, that Bayo Onanuga, I'm on his page on X, and 14 hours ago, he's sharing the update on the ongoing construction of Zaria Funtua Gesel Sokoto Federal Highway. I'm seeing another one, Ilorin Jeba Mokwa Road hits 81% completion. I see another one about, I'm just in retweets and reposts of interviews. I'm not seeing anything about it. We're becoming desensitized. Hundreds, according to the reports. They initially denied that any kidnap happened.
Denied?
Then hundreds of people kidnapped from these churches. Yesterday we had a guest who came to say that this is politicized to make the government look bad. Who cares about what the government
I had asked him if he thinks it's politicized, and he said yes, that it's politicized.
Nobody cares
Nigerians
about
have been abducted, whether you look good or bad, it's not the issue.
People's lives are at risk. How are you concerned about your public perception or how you are perceived? That is people pleasing of the highest order. When lives of citizens are at risk. We can't guarantee the safety of these people.
I think the SSAs, the media handlers of Mr. President, they are aware of this, but they don't want to amplify it because they feel it's an embarrassment to the government.
But Binga, I keep saying this and I'm going to say it again. In saner climes, in other countries, the security chiefs would hold
the
a
entire
press
chain
conference.
of command, yes.
I'm expecting that the new chief of defense staff would by now address the people. And we've also mentioned the NSA. The NSA hasn't said anything in a long time. No press conferences, no addressing the issue at hand. For me, it's hands-on. It shows hands-on. When fire burns and no statement was made as regards what happened.
I'm not trying to make an excuse for the government, but one of the reasons why they might choose to play dumb or bury their heads in the sand is the frequency of this incident, because they might just turn to obituary announcers if you keep reporting. But you are doing a disservice to the memories and to the lives of those people if you keep quiet and you don't even acknowledge this incident.
Like we're in class, can I make a suggestion that will help the government? Create a national report room. NRR, just create that. What that does is it takes the presidency and the government away from frequent announcement. That national report room, designate it as the national reporting desk.
But the presidency did make an announcement recently that they're going to have weekly press briefings and then journalists, I think even daily, daily press briefings.
Where is it?
So journalists can always ask questions. Members of the State House press corps and correspondents.
Mr. Peter Obi made a statement on this. He said he's disappointed and that they should try and rescue the boys. Former President former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar made a statement. What's his name? The politician also made a statement. You had people are making statements. If you create this response room or report room, it takes you away from trying to report. What happens is if there's any insecurity incident, Nigerians know that, okay, fine, the president has designated this report room. They will be the ones to announce, either through a video announcement. We are aware so happened. We understand that this has caused this. However, we'll give you updates. And as it happens, the police give updates regularly. We can inform you that the police are on it. It just helps
just like
Nigerians to believe
similar
that
to the COVID period where we used to have
NSCDC.
I'm not sure.
No, NSCDC is the civil defense.
I'm sorry.
NDDC.
National.
Wow, we are messed this morning.
2020 was just 6 years ago.
National Center for Disease Control.
Yes, NCDCP.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so great suggestion, and let's hope the presidency will bring this to fruition. It's press.
The summary of it all is we want to hear about this in the news, as unpleasant as it is. We cannot turn away. Not speaking about it means that we're shying away from the reality of what's happening to our brothers and our sisters in other parts of the country who are unfortunately kidnapped. It's our reality. We can't try to make the government look good or opt for different optics. The optics is the reality of what we have, and we must project that. The government we must continue to demand security of the lives and of the citizens in Nigeria.